You've been waiting, haven't you? For a sign, for permission, for some proof from the outside world that you are ready, that you are on the right path, that your voice is worth hearing. Let me tell you a secret the world will never whisper. The wind does not ask the mountain for permission before it moves. It does not pause to prove its strength to the trees it bends. It simply moves, certain in its own nature. A warrior who waits for proof before he acts will never act. He will die with his sword still in its sheath, his potential a ghost haunting the man he could have been. In the mountains of Japan, Musashi walked alone, not seeking recognition, not asking for witnesses. His life was a quiet storm, a force that carved its own way through the world without ever needing applause. He understood this truth. Proof is a cage for those who doubt. The way is a path for those who know. You must learn to move without needing proof. Do not wait for the world to agree with you before you sharpen your blade. Do not wait for their applause before you step into your own duel. If you know your path, you must walk it. The river does not consult the rocks before it begins to shape them. It flows, and in its flowing, it becomes inevitable. Musashi wrote, "Perceive that which cannot be seen." This isn't just about reading an enemy's intent on the battlefield. It is about your own life. There are victories you will win that no one else will ever see. There are battles you will fight in the dead of night with no witness but your own spirit. And those are the battles that matter most. When you learn to move without needing proof, you break free from the invisible chains of permission. Most men are bound by them. The need to be validated, to be seen, to be told they are worthy before they dare to act. But a warrior does not wait for a title to be granted. He sees the target and he moves. I have walked through bamboo forests in the quiet hours before dawn. Every stalk stands tall without asking its neighbor if it is straight enough. Every leaf stretches toward the light without seeking applause for its color. Nature has no insecurity. The pine tree does not question whether it should hold its needles through the winter. The hawk does not ask for a sign before it strikes. It knows, and in that knowing, it acts. So why do you hesitate? Why do you wait for someone else to tell you what your own heart already knows? Musashi taught, "Do nothing that is of no use." Hesitation is of no use. The approval of others is of no use. The way requires neither. When you hesitate, you are feeding your enemy your own advantage. When you wait for proof, you have already surrendered your power. The spear moves first. The arrow is released before the target is even aware. The warrior who moves without needing proof does not walk among the timid. He walks among the inevitable. Think of the battle you are facing right now. Not the one you perform for others, but the one raging inside you. Hold it in your mind like a sword in your grip. Do you move, or do you wait? Do you trust your own instinct, or do you beg the world to confirm it for you first? Musashi did not live in the center of the crowd. He walked the riverbanks alone. He practiced his craft beneath the shifting clouds. His only companions were the hiss of the wind in the grass and the weight of his wooden sword in his calloused hands. This is solitude, not loneliness. The unshaken man can walk without witnesses, and yet his steps still echo through the world. You must cultivate this solitude. You must learn to walk with no eyes upon you, with no hand to steady your own, and still move with the precision of a falcon's strike. The earth beneath your feet is all the proof you need that you are here. The breath in your lungs is all the proof you need that you are alive. The quiet call of the way inside you is all the proof you need that you are meant to walk it. Why do you keep asking for more? Why do you wait for signs when the sign has been burning inside you since the day you were born? The world will not pause for you to gather your courage. If you wait for certainty, you will wait for the rest of your life. You must step while the ground is still there to be claimed. You must strike while the opening still exists. You must live before your breath becomes just a memory. The cherry blossom does not bloom because it has proven itself worthy. It blooms because it is its time. And when the wind comes, it does not cling to the branch in fear of being judged for falling. It lets go. Even in its death, it is an act of beauty. You must become the same. To move without needing proof is to finally trust the blade of your own will. To trust that the hours you have given to discipline, to training, to the quiet sharpening of your own edge have made you ready. Even if no one else on earth can see it. Musashi fought 60 duels and never lost. But you must understand this, most of those victories were decided long before the duel even began. Not because he tried to intimidate his opponents, but because he carried himself as a man who required no external proof. The way he walked, the way his gaze rested on his opponent without flinching, the way his breathing remained unchanged just before the strike. It was as if he had already won. And in truth, he had, because he had already made the decision to move. Do not mistake this for arrogance. It is not arrogance to walk the path you know you must walk. It is arrogance to ignore it. The seed does not apologize for breaking through the soil. The flame does not apologize for consuming the darkness. The wave does not apologize for striking the shore. So why do you apologize for moving forward? You have a path. Walk it without shaking. Speak without waiting to be told that your voice matters. Act without waiting for applause. In doing so, you become uncatchable. You become like the mountain mist that shifts just before the hand can grasp it. Like the arrow that strikes before the sound of the bow ever reaches the ear. Like the single thought that changes a man's life before he can even explain why. Under the shadow of the pine tree, the air is still. From this vantage point, you can see the entire valley stretching out below you like a blank scroll. 1,000 paths, 1,000 choices, and yet, for you, there is only one way. To walk it, you must sever the rope that binds you to the approval of others. Cut it clean like a sword parting silk. A tethered warrior cannot move with speed. A chained mind cannot strike with clarity. The samurai who waits for a witness is already half defeated. He has placed his spirit in the hands of other people. And what others hold, they can drop. What they drop, they can break. Your resolve will dull in the sheath of hesitation. Musashi wrote, "When you decide to attack, keep calm and dash in quickly." Notice his words. Decide. Keep calm. Dash in. There is no pause for permission. There is no space for proving your right to act. A warrior does not announce his worth before a battle. He declares it with the outcome. The seeds of your mastery will grow in the dark, away from the crowd, beneath the soil of your own solitude. Only when your roots are deep will the sprout finally break the surface. And by then, it will need no validation to reach for the sun. But this solitude will test you. It will either strip you of your need for applause, or it will break you into craving it more than ever before. The unshaken do not starve in solitude. They feed on it. They find in it the echo of their own breath, the steady drumbeat of their own resolve. If you wish to walk the way, you must learn to be your own witness, to stand in the clearing of your own mind and know without a single cheer, without a single nod, without a single shred of external proof that you are ready. The battlefield of the mind is littered with the corpses of men who waited. They waited for the right time, for proof they were strong enough, for someone to see their worth before they acted. And while they waited, those who needed no proof moved right past them. In his writings, Musashi said, "Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others." Do you see the connection? If you live your life in a state of waiting, you will inevitably live in a state of complaint. You will blame the world for not giving you permission, when the truth is, you never needed it in the first place. Now I ask you, where in your life have you been waiting for proof? Where have you held your blade back, not because you lack the strength, but because you fear the world might tell you that you are wrong? Hold that thought like a dagger hidden in your sleeve. Just know that it is there, because the moment will come when your hesitation will mean death. Not the death of your body, but the death of your chance, the death of the man you could have become. In the stillness before battle, you can hear everything. The hiss of the wind, the groan of the earth, the hum of your own pulse. This is the moment when doubt tries to take you. It whispers, wait, make sure, gather more proof. It dresses itself up as wisdom, but it is just fear wearing the mask of caution. Fear will tell you to measure the distance one more time, to check your footing again, to wait for the enemy to move first. But in that waiting, you are giving the enemy the gift of your stillness. You are trading your initiative for a moment of comfort, and comfort kills more warriors than steel ever could. A blade forged in the hands of a master knows its own strength. It does not question its edge just before the strike. It is either sharp or it is nothing at all. You must become the same. A weapon that is ready long before the war. A man who is the embodiment of his own preparedness. To move without needing proof is to live in a state of quiet readiness, like a bow already strung and waiting, like the tide held just before it breaks. Musashi wrote, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. If there are many paths, then there will be many voices telling you which one is correct. You must learn to ignore them. The mountain will not move for their opinions. It will not lower itself to meet your uncertainty. It will stand as it has always stood until you either climb it or you do not." Pause. Not because I am telling you to, but because your spirit demands it. What is the mountain that stands before you? Not as a metaphor, but in your truth. What is the thing you have delayed climbing because you are waiting for proof that you can reach the summit? Hold that vision in your mind. Breathe with it. Then, without any ceremony, make the choice to begin. You must burn the need for proof from your heart, like forging the impurities from a piece of steel. Every hour you wait for the world to agree with you is an hour the world moves on without you. Musashi understood this. It is why he lived not as a servant to other men's approval, but as the keeper of his own way. The unshaken do not ask, "Am I ready?" They prepare until that question becomes meaningless. They do not ask, "Will I succeed?" They move until the outcome is shaped by their own hands. And if they fail, they stand up again and move once more. Because the way is not concerned with proof, only with motion. Now hear the lesson I promised you at the beginning. Musashi's greatest proof was that he never needed any. 60 duels, hundreds of battles, a lifetime of mastery, and never once did he stop to ask the world to recognize it. He knew that mastery is not measured by applause, but by the unbroken commitment to the path, whether in victory or in solitude. This is the way. Move without needing a witness. Live without needing permission. The sword you have honed in the silence is no less sharp because no one has seen it cut. The discipline you have built in the dark is no less powerful because no one has praised it. The strength you carry is yours, not theirs to validate, not theirs to judge. And so the call is this: stand, move, strike, without explanation, without announcement, and without proof. When the last breath comes, you will not wish for more time to explain yourself. You will wish only that you had moved sooner, lived truer, and walked your way without a moment's hesitation. So I ask you now, not as a question for your mind, but as a challenge to your spirit. What will you do today without needing proof? Which step will you take without waiting for their approval? Answer not with words. Answer with movement.